Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Zen Lounge. Today, I have a special podcast. I have a special guest from Keyrock. I have Thanos, and let me give you a quick background on Keyrock, real quick. Keyrock provides innovative algorithmic trading and market making solutions for digital assets to thrive. Today, we're going to be learning more about their unique approach to liquidity and everything that they do that allows their partners to expand and help create new tokenized economies. So, hello, Thanos. Thank you for coming to the show. We're very excited to learn more about everything the Keyrock project does. And of course, a lot of us on this channel are big Ripple, Sologenic, Coreum fans. So we want to learn more about your Coreum validator node. And some people might be excited to stake with you guys after this. But let's start with Keyrock. Can you tell us more about what Keyrock is all about?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. Keyrock, it started at 2017. Back then, our three founders founded the company in Brussels, in Belgium. And the idea started that there is not enough liquidity in the market, and there should be, in order to adopt tokenized economies, which is our vision as well, you need liquidity into the market, and that's why they created Keyrock. A few years later, now in 2023, we're over like I think 150 people right now, located across the world, traders, developers, business teams, finance, and all that stuff. Spread across the world as we operate 24/7, with crypto being 24/7. So yeah, it's been a journey, but exciting times, to be honest.
And what is your role with the team?
So I'm the Web3 lead at Kirok, and I take care most of our, I would say, DeFi or Web3 activities across the company. So, for example, we are active in governance for Aave, Uniswap, Perpetual Protocol, Bancor, and a few others to come soon. Validators, some of our, let's say, commercial activities in DeFi as well. And yeah, I'm part of the commercial team, but also the marketing team. And yeah, I take care of all of those activities.
Sweet, man. So a lot of us are excited to learn. We hear about the term market makers all the time, just from the sidelines as investors. And a lot of my followers will probably be very interested to learn more about the role of market makers in these crypto decentralized economies. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, on a high level, what market makers do is provide liquidity into the market. Now, with digital assets specifically, as we have multiple centralized and or decentralized exchanges, and it's not like a system, where in traditional finance, for example, you have the London Stock Exchange, which is like a centralized system of trading that every stock in the UK trades there, or the Nasdaq, or the French exchange. So you have multiple types of exchanges across digital assets. That means that you can find different prices across exchanges because of multiple factors. Could be time zone related, it could be outlets, it could be different like trading activities and volumes as well, liquidity. So our ultimate goal is to discover what is the actual price of any asset at any time and price it accordingly. So to do that, of course, you need to be connected on all the exchanges. And once you do that and you pass that message, let's say, to our trading systems at Keyrock, then we can make a decision and provide the corresponding liquidity on all trading venues. So this is called the fair value of an asset, and that's how we figure out what's a fair value, and then to be able to basically provide liquidity and make the token or the asset more liquid into all the exchanges that exist across the globe, and if it trades there, of course. And you may ask, why do we need to do that? So in digital assets, it's a nascent asset class, right? It's still early. It's only about 13 to 14 years old. So it requires liquidity, and market makers do have the expertise to provide liquidity. And so we do that at Keyrock, at least we do that as a service to token issuers, foundations, and exchanges. So if you want to have access to any asset at any time of the day, no matter where you live, no matter the restrictions, the asset should be liquid, and that's what we basically do.
You guys really help with the price stability of things. Is that a good way to sum it up?
It's not exactly price stability, I would say, because basically, imagine you have a retail trader that wants to buy $100 of, let's say, Coreum or Sologenic, and then you have a big institution that wants to buy 100 million. If there's no liquidity, and let's say there is $1,000 on one side of the buy order book, and then there is another 1,000 on the sell order book. The $100 order from the retail trader will affect a bit the price because it's still like a very low liquidity environment if it's only 1,000 on each side. But if the institution wants to come in, they will see the order book and they will say, okay, there's no chance. How can we get into this, let's say, new asset class? We cannot, because if there is only $2,000 in both sides, they cannot really buy it unless if they find a way to do it OTC. So what we do is we help with the liquidity, and by helping with the liquidity, that creates a flywheel effect where more retail traders or retail investors want to acquire or sell the token, and that creates more volume eventually because there's more interest in the token. And by creating more interest, eventually I would say the goal is to, of course, attract institutions as well, so they can either trade or buy and sell the token for any type of use case they want to have. So if you think of it as an ecosystem, it starts from like a very low liquidity environment where it's traded really on really low volumes, and eventually the goal for its foundation and token issuer is to have it adopted. But to have it adopted, you don't only need retail traders and retail users, but also need hedge funds, institutions, VCs, market makers. So for that, you need liquidity, and that's what we help with all those tokens.
Thank you for that explanation. So for the people that are just learning about Keyrock, I noticed on your website you guys are basically partners with every household name exchange, Binance, Coinbase, you name it. Are you guys providing these type of services to these exchanges?
Yeah, I mean, we provide services in both centralized and decentralized venues. Of course, centralized exchanges are our close and strategic partners, and they're crucial to our business. The majority of our revenue still comes from centralized exchanges, to be honest. But by having those relationships and those partnerships, it provides like great access to us and also to our partners in order to provide the best services available and be able to access any market at any time, and thus enhancing our ability to provide liquidity across any pair 24/7. And I mean, we are active on more than 85 exchanges right now, including all the major players, of course. So we do help, we do our best to help bring liquidity to our partners. And yeah, it's a great collaboration overall.
Sweet, sweet. So as I mentioned when we started this call, there are a lot of Ripple fans going to be watching this. And back in November of 2022, after the FTX collapse, Ripple actually backed you guys in a funding round. It was a large funding round. I think it was up to like $72 million. Can you share more about your team's relationship with the Ripple guys? Is it a strong relationship?
Yeah. So Ripple has been a client of Keyrock for its ODL, which is the on-demand liquidity system, for more than 3 years now. And we do act as a dedicated market maker on a selected number of venues in order to guarantee liquidity and fair and healthy market as well, of course. So, I mean, as a client, Ripple has seen firsthand the quality of our services and technology, I believe. So this convinced them to be part of Keyrock's growth and future growth. and that's what led to our investment, to the investment from Ripple. And Ripple still remains one of our many clients at Keyrock, and it just happens that now has also financial exposure to our long-term success. So we are eager to support Ripple as well to their liquidity on the markets, and as we have been doing for the last 3 years as well.
Here's a quick question too. The audit just recently came in on the XRP ledger. Are you guys interested at all in potentially providing liquidity to the automated market makers coming to the XRP ledger, like do market making on a instead of a centralized avenue, like on a decentralized avenue, like on the XRP ledger?
We've been already building models for AMMs for the last years, to be honest, and we trade actively on AMMs like Uniswap, of course, and Perpetual Protocol and others. It's definitely something we would look at. Right now, I don't think we are looking at it actively, but AMMs as a trading venue is also very interesting. It has different kind of dynamics, of course, than centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges that have order books. But it's definitely something to look at overall. We're a bit I would say agnostic on chains. We believe there's a multi-chain world, so it's not going to be just a winner takes all. So supporting AMMs across different blockchains is something we're already doing, and we'll of course expand as well.
Sweet. So, another avenue of your guys' services is the venture capital side. And I did just notice recently you guys had some big news. Peter Thiel had a big $33 million funding round that you guys were part of, and formerly known as Bitpanda Pro, One Trading, I believe One Trading, right?
Yep.
You guys basically invested in this platform, and I was looking at this platform. It looks like it's going to be huge. I've seen in Q4 they're planning on getting into derivatives some more. What did you guys see in this project? What inspired you guys to get involved in this funding round?
We have been part of the Bitpanda ecosystem since day one, and we are excited about their approach to both retail and institutional access to the asset class. Just to be clear, Bitpanda now is a different entity from One Trading, so they separated. Bitpanda Pro basically renamed their rebranding into One Trading, and we invested in One Trading. Uh, we know the team; they're great. This is more of a strategic investment than anything else. We are happy to assist and operate on those markets and do our best to provide the best liquid assets on one trading, but also on all exchanges across the globe as well, of course.
Sweet, thank you for answering that. So, you guys are big believers of tokenization being part of the future. On your website, it actually says your vision is to enable tokenized economies. Can you share why you believe in tokenization and how you guys are, playing in the role? I think you already answered a lot with the liquidity and market making, but uh, why do you guys believe in the future of tokenized economies and assets?
Yeah. Um, so I mean, this vision has been our focus, as I mentioned already, since day one, when the founders of Keyrock founded Keyrock. I think it comes from the passion about real-world assets that our founders are very passionate about, and tokenizing real-world assets, but also other assets like insurance, carbon markets, bond markets. There is so much opportunity. So you have to remember that billions of people across the globe do not have access to Robinhood with commission-free trading or some other platforms in Europe, or have access to banking rails so that they can onboard or offboard easily with fiat. So enabling and tokenizing those economies is a big priority for us. For example, we have been looking at carbon credit markets. It's something very interesting that could be tokenized and could be traded as well. Real world asset tokenization, it's already happening. And we are looking actively on how we can provide liquidity there. but as well finding the fair value for those assets. If you remember, I mentioned at the start that before we start market making, we have to find out what's the fair value of the asset at any time. In order to do that, there's like a few complex situations where you need to be connected on all those exchanges and some statistics as well. But basically, you need to figure out what's the fair value of any asset to then provide liquidity. So I mean, there's so much opportunity like collateralized loans, insurance, yield markets, bond markets, NFTs. Everything can be tokenized, really, to be honest. So, and we don't just want to be there to participate when that happens, but we want to assist from day one on the adoption of those assets and work together with all those amazing founders and protocols for that goal of, enabling the adoption of those assets.
Sweet. So yeah, Larry Fink, BlackRock, they're saying it's the next big thing. I think that the RWAs is going to be the next big hype when the bull rally fully ignites. So we're definitely aligned there. And a lot of my subscribers, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, are big fans of Sologenic and Coreum ecosystems, what they're building. And I believe your first validator node is on Coreum. I don't know if that's true. And I know a bunch of the viewers may be inspired to delegate to your node. So can you share more about what inspired you guys to launch this validator on Coreum and relationship and partnership you have with the team?
Yeah, so we've known the Sologenic and Corium team for a while now, and we do have a great relationship. So when they were actually on the testnet phase of Corium, they asked us if we would like to test just running a validator because they knew we haven't been running validators until now, and it was something actually that we were already discovering on how to strategize around it and how to build around it because we're big believers on decentralization, and so contributing with top tier validators that have 100% uptime, no issues at all. They run effectively all year with no problems. So that, for example, Corium users can trust us and delegate some Corium tokens to our validator was a good start as the Corium team was asking us about it as well. And that's why it's actually the first validator we are running. So it's something very interesting and something we'll develop more as well.
Okay, so you kind of already answered my next question. Have you guys deployed validators on any other blockchains yet?
Not yet. We are looking at it actively. So when it happens, you're gonna know.
Sweet. So help us out a little bit here because all of us are doing the best we can. We're trying to research, and a lot of us investors are really excited about investing in real world asset tokenization projects that plan to tokenize assets, right? And doing our best to learn about all these different projects and being able to speak to an expert. Have you been able to look under the hood of Sologenic and Corium's technology? Do you think this technology has a shot in the future to provide solutions for tokenizing real world assets for big players, potentially some of your partners?
Yeah, I mean, I have looked at the technology behind Solo and Corium. It's definitely promising. I do believe overall that there is a place for multiple layer ones and layer twos to win the adoption game. It's not, as I said, it's not a winner takes all kind of game that we're playing here. And probably what I think is that there are going to be layer ones, layer twos that focus on specific. They have specific focus areas. So, for example, until now, Solana is known for its NFTs, and that's the main, I would say, use case for now. It could be that it's definitely possible that Sologenic and Corium can execute on the vision of tokenizing real world assets and have, let's say, that focus area. And it's something that we are also excited about, as I already said about real world assets. We are very excited to do the best to adopt those type of assets.
Sweet. So finishing up here, what is your guys' realistic expectations on your vision of enabling tokenized economies and seeing tokenization become adopted? Do you think this is going to be like a 5 to 10 year horizon, or can this become a reality much sooner? Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think for RWA specifically, small steps are already happening, and I believe over the last 6 months, I've seen more efforts happen than over the last 3 years. So there is definitely some exponential effort there and growth on that vector, which is exciting. And I would say it's an effort that requires collaboration across the industry. It's not just, let's say having adoption on DeFi or having adoption on NFTs. It starts from banking rails. It starts from exchanges. It goes on with market makers, proper guidelines, regulation, better infrastructure, friendly UI and UX experience. Because for the end users, because let's be honest, the UI and UX is nowhere near, let's say, Robinhood levels of adoption. We need to try better. There's some promising projects, but still, I think in order to reach the billions of users, you need extremely good UI and UX, and we are not there yet. So it is a grind, but I believe we will get there, and I don't believe that this industry will ever stop innovating in that perspective. There is so much untapped potential with digital assets. So excited about it.
Sweet. So any last thoughts you would like to share with the audience? Anything I didn't ask that we should be aware of that will help us get excited about what you guys are doing in the future?
Definitely look out for new validators who will announce, I would say, relatively soon. We are looking at it actively. We're also very active on governance, and we're looking also to expand our governance participation across multiple protocols. And uh, I would say that's the most recent developments and upcoming developments. So yeah, it was great talking to you, Zen, and I hope this conversation was insightful for the audience. Yeah, if there are any questions or if there's someone looking to create a protocol, we're always happy to chat and see how we can assist. So feel free to reach out on our socials and or our website.
Sweet. Well, thank you for giving us your time today, and we look forward to seeing the evolution of you guys with your Coreum validator, and hopefully we could also support the other validators you launch on other chains. And it was great chatting with you. I learned a lot, and everybody watching, peace and have a great day. Bye, Thanos. Peace.
Thank you. Bye bye.